Hi, I'm Wanda Davis from London, Ontario. We've been asked our views about what do we think is, wrong, not working in the educational system today, and perhaps some of our ideas on how could it be made better. I found these questions pretty difficult because I am both a coach as well as an educator. And that's probably a lot of my personal reasons for not being in the education system full time anymore are some of the things I think is what I'm going to talk about. So some of the issues are I believe primarily it would be the resiliency and the coping skills of students today. They have none of these skills. And schools aren't necessarily teaching these skills because the students are given so many chances in order to get the work done, in order to pass a course. I have worked with special needs kids that definitely need these extra chances. But in the mainstream, perhaps has been pushed a little too far in order to help increase all the students' self-esteem, but to the point that these aren't actually working because it is very rampant to have students with high anxiety, depression, and admittedly, there are a lot of student suicides these days. So this trying to raise their self-esteem is not working, and they don't have these skills of when they're up against something that's not working, whether they're passing a course or not, but they don't know what to do. And that's why I think I have found that in any of the teaching that I do, I am still occasional teacher. I've refused to essentially work in the educational system full time anymore. That I usually, when I go into school, I'm working on building these coping strategies for students. For example, I bring in meditation and all those types of self-reflection skills that students need in order to be able to think about what their next steps are going to be. And that's just it, what they're going to do, not what they can blame somebody else on doing. Because I think it's more of a societal problem, whereas people are not being held accountable for things. This reliance on technology sometimes, of course, has led to instant gratification. And if people aren't getting the way, they don't understand that you need to actually do some work, that you actually need to plan ahead. And actually try to, work on these goals a little bit at a time. That's the only way of getting there. And it's also that fact, I also asked a couple of teacher friends as to what they think is wrong. And a lot of people kind of had these similar ideas such as I. But of course, it's that idea the students aren't getting the life skills that they need because there's so much pressure on doing well on the academic part. Let's face it, not all the population is going to do well in academics. So perhaps it's these students that can actually take the ball. And when you think of globalization in terms of respecting everyone else in the world, all the different cultures, like what are the subjects that could be doing well on that one? You're looking at music, you're looking at languages, you're looking at art and history and geography. These aren't the core academic subjects that are necessarily focused on, because of course you're always looking at reading and math. So that could be something that perhaps can be put on the boat of some of the things that could be done. And I guess personally too, in terms of what perhaps it would look like as a life coach that's looking at different areas to work in. One of the ideas that's forming in the back of my mind is actually working with youth, being able to help them discover their purpose and figuring out exactly what their goals are in life, to be able to assist them on those long range plans in order to be able to do things. So yeah, that's kind of part of my plan, is to develop a system to be able to offer schools or school boards and to be able to go into schools and help students when they're still in school, rather than when they get to the real world and realize they don't have these skills they need. So yeah, this would be all in terms of increasing those life skills that students need and perhaps is not being taught by the parents. Because quite often, as I said, a lot of these things are societal issues, and perhaps we also need to be addressing them from that end. But anyways, again, I'm Wanda Davis, and thank you for the opportunity for expressing my views. Thank you.